10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Chapter systems are offline.
Welcome to the Banter Club. Join myself, Mark, along with TY, Jackie, and Mahal as we talk all things sport. We will definitely trash your team, and if you don't like it, we'll definitely tell you your favorite footballer is a tax evader. Join us every week on the Banter Club.
Are we really doing this?
Of course, we are definitely.
Welcome to it, episode number 17 of the one and only The Banter Club, South Africa. Are we still number one? South Africa's number one sports podcast? I think I need answers on that one. But yeah, we are up there with the best in South African sports. So if you have not listened to us yet, go to our previous episodes, give us a listen. My name is TY, aka Abuti Broadway, aka Abuti Blondie. That's the new name that I've been given, weirdly enough. But I'm not rolling alone. I'm with Mahal. Mahal, how you doing, bro?
I think I've recovered from our last episode quiz. It showed me flames, but I've recovered, so I'm good.
Are you not embarrassed?
So, and mind you, rugby was my favorite sports. The most sports that I could play was rugby.
Oh,
so,
man. And it was such easy.
You said Limpopo Blue Bulls was a great team. How? No.
They took a major L in the last episode. Mark, how you doing, bro?
No, I'm good, man. I'm good. Like Kuna said in the last episode, yeah, we're carrying the country. We're losing iPads. We're good though. We're good. We're surviving.
Just make sure Whitehead loses their iPad when they land in the country. Listen to you. All right, there's a lot to go through, guys, but let's just kickstart it off with Kaizer Chiefs. Firstly, as a Sundowns fan, I want to say congratulations. I'm not saying I'm happy about it. I'm just congratulating you because it's what's due to you. Please unpack the game. Anyone. What happened? I only watched the game till the goal came in. Katima TV.
Of course, you won't watch. Of course, you won't watch.
Unpack the game for me. What happened?
From when I started watching, because I started a bit late, but it actually seemed like Wydad was actually the better side. Like, I'm actually still shocked to this day how they did not score at least 3 or 4 goals. I mean, that game was one-way traffic. Like, I don't remember seeing a Chiefs player other than Matoho clearing. Every single time Matoho was clearing. So I'm just wondering, Hore, how did Wydad miss up on so many opportunities? But otherwise, it's how football is, man. One day you think you're on top of the world, the next you're getting beaten, and you don't know how. But hey, man, come back to FNB, we're gonna beat them 1-0, and then 2-0 scoreline over the 2 legs. We're going to the final. Sitrap and Al Ahly. So yeah.
In case you missed the game, let me just give you an overview of the game. Chiefs won 1-0 in Wydad, in Casablanca, and Chiefs only had 21% of the ball possession. Wydad had 79%. Wydad had 28 shots. Chiefs only had 3. Wydad had 8 on target. Chiefs only had the goal on target. In terms of passes, Wydad had 670 passes in the 90 minutes. Chiefs only had 183. So yeah, no, no.
Look, I would agree with Mark. It was a one-way traffic, and I mean, I'm not shocked to see Wydad failed to score. I mean, I think they were starting to get frustrated minute by minute, and that was sort of a good thing for Kaizer Chiefs to say that, okay, as long as we continue keeping these guys blocking the balls. We don't need to do anything. Let's just block them, block them, block them. And the more the time the clock passes by, the more we that get frustrated. And mind you, they're playing at home, which the losing at home would be a big deal for any team, especially if you are gonna play the second leg away. So
Yeah.
it was tough game for them because I mean when they started, I think the first 10 minutes or so, it looked like it's gonna be a good game. I mean, you could see Chiefs coming through, but you could see that the Wydad was sort of a laid back team, and then all of a sudden, I think that goal that was scored by Kaizer Chiefs sort of gave Kaizer Chiefs an opportunity to say that okay, guys, let's relax and let's all we do is just to block the ball, take out whenever we have to take out, and that's when we saw now the one-way traffic of Wydad, but they failed to to capitalize on their shots on target, which they had 28 shots, so they failed to capitalize on that one because I think if they had at least gotten a goal, it was going to be a different ball game. I think the game was going to change if they had managed to score a goal at least from 50th minute. They could have won the game, but I think Kaizer Chiefs has proven to say that okay, you can win the game on stats, but I mean the important thing is to score goals, and as long as you fail to score goals, you didn't win the game. That's what we saw during the CAF Champions League semi-final. And
That's
then
true.
I've seen some statement which was quite funny to say that okay, Kaizer Chiefs just want teams that have those clean sheets to say that okay, they have the record of not losing games. I mean, we saw that with the Sundowns. We did the same thing with Wydad.
It's announcing now. Guys, like, we'll continue.
And I think a lot of people are shocked.
Like, it's announcing
So I do I see them moving forward to the to the finals, and it's gonna be an interesting one if we see Kaizer Chiefs playing against Al Ahly. Mind you, the game plan that Kaizer Chiefs had is sort of a movie that we have seen before. And that movie we saw when Stuart Baxter was Kaizer Chiefs coach, where he's good at this parking bus thing, where he will take you later on. Um, we'll see what will happen second leg next this coming Saturday, and hopefully maybe Chiefs can score 4-0, and then we can prove to say that okay, we can not only defend but we can also attack.
But would you say that Gavin Hunt was the problem? I mean, Gavin Hunt leaves and Chiefs is not losing anymore.
I don't think so. But the question is, as much as Kevin Hunt had left, the players are still the same. So the question is, when Kevin Hunt was still around, were the players playing for the team? Were they prepared to take the team down, hoping that maybe Kevin Hunt will be gone anytime soon, or Kevin Hunt was really the problem? That's the question because remember now,
No,
yeah.
just to add on. Look, let's be honest. This is a very similar to like when they came second, right? So they came second that year, then they came eighth. Sorry, we made top eight. Hoo-ha. But we came eighth this past season. Largely the same players. You still have Bernard Parker not scoring a goal. I mean, that guy in a relationship, he's always missing the girlfriend. But Bernard Parker is still there. Katanda is still there. You have guys like Abu Pilanes. It's largely the same team. So you can't tell me the players all of a sudden become bad players overnight. So I believe Gavin Hunt I think maybe his approach was a problem because, as we've mentioned in previous episodes, the ego's there. Maybe he didn't know how to as the English people say, put an arm around their shoulder. But I think it's not Gavin Hunt who was really the problem. I think our players are the problem. I mean, at people who are earning that much money and them feeling okay about losing each game, I think it's not right. But either way, Gavin Hunt was not the problem. I think the players need to look at themselves. They need to be ashamed for what they did. Because I mean, we could have had a great season under Gavin Hunt had they just decided, Yazin, guys, let's support the coach. Let's play to our strengths. If we don't like something, let's approach him and show him that our way might work. Let's build a collaborative relationship, which I think doesn't work at Natural. And I don't know why, but yeah.
Yeah, because I think that's what I'm saying, to say that, okay, while the players prepared to take the team down with Gavin Hunt being the coach, because I mean, all of a sudden now the players have got that momentum of winning games. So that's the question, to say that, okay, is really Gavin Hunt that bad that he couldn't win those games within the DSV Premiership, or were the players contributing to his failure when it comes to being a coach, Kaizer Chiefs coach?
I just think the problem is still at management, and I feel like, with every coach, whenever a new coach joins, there's always a honeymoon phase, and I feel like that's what's happening right now. It's still that honeymoon phase. Let's give Baxter the first 10 games, then we can have a more accurate look at it. What exactly was the problem. And I mean, Baxter's going to be having brand new players, which Kevin Hunt never had the opportunity of. So it's a bit tricky, man. It's really, really a bit tricky for me on my end. But enough about the Nacharana boys, guys. We're recording this podcast today on the 22nd of June, 2021, which is, honestly speaking, a dark day for SA football, in my opinion. I'm enjoying it, but it's very dark. I
We'll
mean,
just pack the bus here.
literally. I mean, it was a crazy scenes today, man, at Chatsworth Stadium, where Real AM arrived at the stadium. They parked the bus, and then there were no show. I mean, what exactly happened? Because I literally, all I saw was the Real AM bus at the stadium. And next thing, I'm reading tweets and reports saying how these guys are gone, and they had no show on the pitch, and it's a 3-0 walkover. What happened?
Now, personally, I think apart from the reports that are out there, I think those guys literally, I think the players wanted to play. Because I think the inner footballer in them said, listen, we have another shot at the PSL. We believe we can make it to the PSL. Cheaper is a somewhat weak outfit. They've been losing. Their morale is down. So let's go play. We understand the boardroom stuff, but I think the players were like, let's go play. And then if we win the case, great, we're in the PSL. If we don't win the case, it's fine. We've played the game. We've got another chance to make the PSL. So I think the players probably and the coach and everyone had the mentality to say, listen, we want to go play, and everything else, the boardroom things must happen in the boardroom. And then probably Chigi, the crew from Zanzi Magic were like, guys, it's going to look dramatic on TV when you guys just leave the stadium. And then they left. So I think that's what happened.
I can't wait to see the new season of Mamkeys. Hey, it's gonna be wild. It's gonna be wild. I mean, if you look at the Twitter reports right now, everybody's saying, look, these things have been happening in the PSL for a long time. Even Sundowns almost lost the PSL because of this. But now someone is actually standing up to this. They call it the mafia on Twitter. It's been called the cartel of bus owners, where they don't stand up to their friends. The reports the tweets I'm reading was something to that degree. Do you think it's time that the PSL actually stood up? Because I feel like there's been a whole lot of unfair things that have been happening in the PSL for a very, very long time, and a lot of people have been very, very quiet about it. Arbitration, Sundowns with Arense took forever. The one Sereno took forever. Is it time that people, you know what I'm saying? Is it time that teams actually stood up to the PSL and said, look, you better be swift about decisions that you make, or we're just going to do our own thing?
Yeah, no, no, Mahal, you can go ahead.
Well,
nothing. Mahal's a bit silent. Oh, there he goes.
I think it's long overdue, Day. It's long overdue. And the question is, where are they? What are they saying right now? Because we're not hearing anything from the league. And the problem about the teams going against the league is another issue, because let's talk about the NSL leaders. They're the guys who own the teams. They're still the guys who own the teams. So if maybe we had sort of an independent board, it was going to be a different ball game. But you still have guys who are still part of the NSL, and then also they are the owners of the league. Talking about the acting CEO, she's the the boss when it comes to what's this team, Golden Arrows.
Yes.
So you might find certain teams won't participate, and probably they might encourage other teams not to participate on that proposal that you're talking about. So you might realize we have only one or two teams.
Crazy because I mean, if for example, like I mean, I'm looking at it this way, right? If something like this happens at, for example, say Sundowns is number 1, leading by 1 point, and there's an arbitration, and Chiefs is number 3, Pirates is number 2. I mean, it does get a little bit fishy. Like you are absolutely right. I feel like we need to have an independent board settling these sort of matters. I mean, now there's courts involved and there's lawyers, and I'm seeing lawyers letters. I'm just not impressed with any of this. Should the PSL do better? You know what I mean? I feel like they should. Mark, what do you think?
Mara, how do we expect people to do better when they've had so many opportunities to do better and they don't? You know, and it's very frustrating as a football fan because we know what must happen, or we have an idea at least of what must happen. I mean, we've cried about the marketing of the PSL to get people at the stadiums. There's no incentive for us to actually go to the stadiums to watch the games because they're in bed with multi-choice and they want people to watch at home. So there's so much that's so wrong with our football at the current moment. I'm sure we're the only league in the world where we're the biggest in Africa commercially, but like there's no one in the stadium. You go to other African countries, there's a real passion. So if we were to mix it with the passion with the commercial viability, I think then we'd have a great league. We'll probably compete with European leagues. But anywho, it's yeah. I think at some point maybe we must have another match, not to Naturena this time, but to Safa House because it's not that far. Just
and now you know the biggest thing is that now PSL may also decide to abandon the playoffs. You know, and consequently, Chippa is going to retain its premiership status. Now, there's another team part of the playoffs that's now being involved in this. I mean, is it really fair?
But T.Y., listen, I think most of the football fraternity has been saying that this playoff thing is nonsense. The two best teams in the NFD must get promoted to the PSL. The two worst teams in the PSL must go down to the NFD. Simple. Because let's be honest, this playoff thing, you're keeping a team that has shown time and time again. We've seen with Black Leopards, they've been at the bottom of the league season after season. And I mean, we know that there's no quality there. That means there's less revenue going to that club. So relegate them, let them find themselves, then they can come back up when they're good enough. But this whole thing, I think, imagine if already we promoted teams immediately. I think this matter would have basically been, okay, Skukuni and Royal AM are already in the PSL. They're just fighting now to see who takes the trophy.
Yes.
Then it doesn't affect their transfers. It doesn't affect a lot, man. It doesn't affect the teams who must go down from the PSL.
And then your thoughts on just allow all of them into the PSL and let's just have an 18 league team once and for all.
But TY, you can have all of them within the league, but the status still remains to say that, okay, the status of who won the Glad Africa Championship trophy. Remember, the sponsorship are willing to give only one team that won the league, the trophy and the money. So probably Royal AM wants that trophy. Royal AM wants that money. Probably Skokune wants that trophy, wants that money. And Glad Africa can only give it to one team. And to answer your questions, your question that you've asked about the fairness from the PSL, it's not fair at all to both these teams, and not only the two teams Skukune and Royal AM, but it's not fair on Chiba United now what they're experiencing within the playoff. Which other team is playing within the playoffs again? The third team.
Richards Bay.
Yeah.
It's not fair on them again because I mean this whole thing. I think it also plays with your mental state because I mean you have Richards Bay and Chiba United were willing to go play today, and then they're told no, the game has been postponed. To postpone to which date? No, we'll tell you the date because we also don't know the date. You see the issue of there's no fairness within this whole thing. It's a mess, and I think they should have kept their they should have stuck to their rule book and make the decision as early as possible. All of these things could have been avoided because, I mean, mind you, we might be blaming Royal AM for doing whatever they're doing. Yes, maybe they're on the wrong bus when it comes to taking the legal issues, but I think it is within their rights to say that, okay, we were not treated fairly by the PSL because, I mean, at some point we were position number one and then we went to position number two and we went back to position number one. So when we played our last game, we played when we were at position number one. So, I mean, mentally, clearly you guys are the league winners, and then all of a sudden jiggy jiggy is over. Let's put it on hold. Things went to court, and then no, Sukuna won the league. So it's not fair on both those teams to be brought up and down. And I think the entire blame should go to the PSL to say that, okay, they should have taken the decision long time ago. I mean, we have an acting CEO who has been acting since Generation went took its first episode on air. I don't know how long she's been acting.
Rebecca Malope.
I don't, she's been acting and
When Karamo Moroka was still a vibe.
that is the problem. There lies the problem. The problem is within the PSL, and now we are playing the blaming game. Now we're blaming Royal AM, we're blaming we're blaming certain lawyers and whatever. But the main man, the PSL, is nowhere to be found right now, and he or she is the one who messed up when it comes to this whole thing.
No,
It's a mess, man. It's a mess.
I'm just gonna say, because this is a question I once received when I was running for semi-political things. They said, if you cannot be trusted with a few, how can you be trusted with many? So moving from 16 to 18 is not gonna work.
And mind you,
Gonna
Mark,
make matters worse.
Mark,
Yeah.
financially it won't work financially as well, because I mean the sponsors will question the issue of, no, but we didn't sign up for this. Now you are
Yes.
asking us to give 2 million to extra 2 teams within the league.
But
That was not our agreement.
But that's a 200 for Kopanya Mare. Royally, I'm fine.
But that's like
Yeah,
So
you know.
And my question lies now: what's happening with the sponsors? Because I mean, Glad Africa now are all over because of what's happening within the Glad Africa Champions League. Can they withdraw at any time? Said, okay, guys, PSL, you guys are messing up now.
I
We
mean,
thought maybe we came to the right place, but looks like your things are a mess up. Won't we see sponsors withdrawing from the league?
Look, it's very possible because
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a clause that says that if somewhere somehow you bring the league into disrepute or some sort, I'm sure they can pull out. Because remember, the National Soccer League is at their mercy to provide funding, so I'm sure they have a clause to say they can pull out at any time.
Yeah, they definitely do. Angelo Pisani might just open his own league. You know that guy. Hey, Shonim Kiza might just say, I've got my own league. I'm opening teams. Come join me. I'll sponsor every team. You know that lady. Royal Premier League. I can see it happening. I definitely can see it happening. And another story that broke today: Maritzburg United chairperson says that he is looking at selling the club because of what happened during the COVID-19 pandemic and the financials at the club. I mean, this is a move that a lot of clubs probably might make, but what does this mean for South African football? I mean, it's so sad that a team like Maritzburg United, which, I mean, that stadium is always packed on Fridays, man. It's so sad. If that team is bought and moved to a different province, it could, it's going to be devastating for the people of Maritzburg, It's very tricky. I mean, they're failing to secure sponsors, and I'm certain they're not the only PSL team that's failing to secure sponsors. We saw Highlands Park being sold last year, Bidvest as well. There have been rumors around SuperSport. Now, when the chairperson himself comes out and says, hey, I might have to sell, I'm weighing my options. It's tricky, man. How do we handle this? How do we deal with this?
Hey, it's tough because, again, financially it makes sense why they'd want to sell, because first of all, you're getting your money back, and you can basically get out while while you can. I think going forward, I think maybe we need to look at maybe finding or making it easier for, because I remember, if I could be wrong, but I remember they said about 2 seasons back that these betting companies were not allowed to actually sponsor teams, like tobacco companies or all these other companies that are not deemed to be socially acceptable. We're not really allowed to sponsor teams, because we saw with Sports Pesa as well coming in to sponsor Cape Town City. It was very contentious because Sports Pesa is a betting platform. So I think maybe the league needs to look at allowing more or giving freedom to allow more sponsors to come in, alcoholic beverages to come in, because I think there is a place for all these sponsors in the league. I mean, we watch. I think with the biggest, or in terms of what's this concentration, we're probably the biggest viewership on TV or satellite TV for football in the continent. So I think going forward, we need to maybe look at how we can make the PSL much more viable in terms of like its marketability, and open it up to more sponsors. I mean, take the risk, put on some alcoholic logos. We know our country has an issue with that. But again, this is a way to basically sponsor livelihoods as well. So it could be a win-win for both the betting platforms, the alcoholic beverages, and so forth. So I think maybe looking at the way they allow sponsors to come into the league.
Yeah, they definitely need to open it up. I agree with you 155%. It's pop, man. We need more sponsors. We need more teams, or more people rather, joining in, more different types of companies joining in. Maha, what are your thoughts on that, man?
Yeah, I agree. But do we have does the league have those guys who are creative to come up with those ideas? I mean,
in my opinion, no.
I think we have those. I doubt if we were to look at the league, the PSL, and do we have any younger guys or ladies within the PSL which are part of that top 6, or is it top 6 or top what? Do we have younger guys? Do we have the youth, maybe under 40, at least under 35? Do we have those younger guys to come up with those creative ideas to say that, okay, what can bring the league, what can bring us money when it comes to football? Because I mean, you have everything. Mark has mentioned this. I mean, a lot of people do follow the league. So the only thing that's needed, you need creative ideas coming through, proposing to the likes of the alcohol beverages. I mean, you don't need to talk about drinking. We've seen a lot of Heineken adverts where they would oppose the drinking and driving. They're not even advertising the drinking, but they still continue telling you do not drink and drive, drink responsibly. So you can have those. You've got the entire platform, but I doubt the creative brains are there.
Yeah, definitely. Tricky. All right, let's move to a team that we barely speak about here on this podcast. We love it, but we don't talk about it. Amapaganea, Pagachuchu, Esgamakepula. They just signed Mandla Ngazi from Golden Arrows. Nobody understands how. Nobody understands why. And now they're trying to sign Steve Kompela as their coach. Now, rumor is Steve Kompela has a clause that says if you want to leave, there's 28 million rand in your contract. Please pay us that. And rumor is as well that Sundowns is saying, look, give us Lodge, we'll give you Kompela. Which Lodge is not playing right now. It makes perfect sense. Mark, what are your thoughts, bro?
It's all lies. Which coach has a 28 million release clause? Oh, what? 28
Peter's release clause was higher than that.
Piece okay. Exactly.
It was 10 times that.
In South Africa, we don't have a coach that. Let's be honest. 28 million for a coach. Most players don't cost that much. So I think somehow, Munta fage 6 gun. There's a lot of spice there. So, or 6 gun if you guys want to sponsor hit up your boy. Anyway, but my thing is, it doesn't make sense. I think the appointment of Compella makes a lot of sense, but otherwise, it doesn't make sense that there's 28 million in his contract that's a release clause. It draw no. But anywho, I'm sure there might be some more other fees that he might need to pay should a club want him. But I don't think it's 28 million. On the other hand, I think Mandla Mnikazi, it's going to be interesting if he comes up with Steve, because I mean Steve, if we can say all we like about him, he's actually a very decent coach, one of the better coaches in the country, and he's technically finally won a bit of silverware, so you can't say he hasn't won anything.
Technically, I love how you put it, because he was a technician there. He was
Senior
part of
coach, so you don't know, senior coach. You know, is he a real coach? Is he not a coach? Is he an advisor, life coach? Asaz.
Hey, he's part of the three wise men. But I mean, why not give it to Mandla Ncikazi and make him the coach? I don't understand.
I don't know. I think
I
they're
don't
probably
understand
looking
why.
at experience.
They're looking at?
Experience. I think they probably don't trust them with a big club like Pirates. Because it's one thing to do it. I mean, Steve actually is someone who showed it. He did very well at Free State Stars. Does well at Maritzburg. Gets to Kaizer Chiefs every season. Doesn't win anything. So I think maybe they might be looking at that and saying, you know what, great coach, but is he ready for the big time?
Yeah, no, that's a tricky one. I mean, he coached Maritzburg United in 2015, Mandla Ncikazi, and he did well, in my opinion, at Golden Arrows. But why Steve Compella? Let's be honest, though. Steve Compella failed at Kaizer Chiefs under the big pressure. You know, he got to 2 cup finals, fine, but he did not win any silverware. Can he now take this and actually win silverware at Orlando Pirates, a team that's been struggling for silverware for about 6 years till they won the MTN 8? I think not. I honestly think not.
Yeah, it's tough. I think, yeah, it's going to be tough to win a trophy at Pirates. It would be very, very tough because already Joseph Zunba, I think he's done relatively okay, and I think, unfortunately, I think they're being very, very harsh on him. But either way, yeah, man, I don't know. Maybe Compella might win a top 8, but I don't see him winning anything of significance. But yeah,
they can win that preseason tournament. It's fine. That one, I don't mind it. No. The MTN 8. It's a preseason tournament. That thing. It's not a trophy. Well, what are your thoughts on these Pirates chopping and changing the technical team? I mean, in all of this, what is Fatu Davids' role in this?
Look, if this deal happens that Steve Compella likely to join Orlando Pirates, I think it's going to be a big move. And I think we might see one of the best Orlando Pirates that we've ever seen. I mean, because right now, Orlando Pirates does have decent players. I think all they need is a good coach who can gel with them. And by looking at the players and looking at Steve Compella and Mandla Ncikazi, I think they could gel very well. And I think if that happened, it's going to be a very difficult team to play against.
Yeah, and I mean, Joseph Zimbabwe has a 60% win rate at Pirates. 60%. I think only Pito has higher in the PSL at this point in time. Is it really a good idea to fire Zimbabwe? I mean, Mark, you said right now that he's done pretty relatively well, but until you bring silverware at a team like Pirates, Chiefs, or Sundowns, you really have not done anything. Let's be honest. But is it a good idea to fire?
I think from a Orlando Pirates fan point of view, I think the problem with him is that his selection has been under question. The way he's treated some of the talent at Pirates has come under scrutiny. So I think a lot of the Pirates faithful probably looking at it and saying that this is not the man to take us into the future. He's not. I think they can already see that it's gonna collapse before it gets better. And they probably want him out now so that they can get someone who will understand the legacy of Pirates, someone who will understand that Pirates is an institution in this country, and they need to win trophies like they win a normal league game. So I think a lot of it has to do with how Pirates is seen as an institution, and not necessarily how Zimbabwe is as a bad coach. I think, again, he's done well, maybe not as well as the Pirates faithful would have hoped for, but at the end of the day, I think it's because maybe I think he doesn't understand, or the faithful believe he doesn't understand what it means to be a Pirates coach.
Yeah. Facts. I feel you. Mohawa, any transfer rumors on your side?
At this moment, I don't know any.
They've been a lot. Because right now, Lodge one, there are two super sport players. I think it's Mbule, who might be going to Sundowns. Kutumela as well might be going to Sundowns. They've agreed on personal terms. They just have on thing. But I'm really against Sundowns signing up all the talent, man. It's going to be a one-horse race against next season. Mark, what do we want to be?
Hey, this is very depressing, Mara. It's okay. I will not speak on Chiefs. I refuse to speak on Chiefs. But anyway, look, I think Sundowns can clear out like 11 players, and they'll still have a very talented core of players still there. Probably guys like Shompo must reconsider whether he wants to play every week or not. Because I think quality-wise, he still has the quality, doesn't have the legs, Yes. So guys like him, who's this guy at the back? Wayne Arons, but he's gone already now.
Yeah, he left at the beginning of last season.
Yeah. But yeah, the older guys within Sundowns maybe might want to go play elsewhere. I mean, Royal AM is looking for players.
Hey.
So I think, going forward, it's going to be interesting. But I think the Sipho Mbule one, that's going to be very interesting to see who lands him, because apparently Sundowns is also in for him. And if Sundowns land him, they've got someone to replace Zwane going forward. So it'll be very interesting.
And I mean, Orlando Pirates have got Chabalala and Dube coming back from loan as well.
Oh, okay. That's going to be interesting. That's going to be very, very, very interesting. Hey,
and I think
see that one.
Another interesting move to TY. I think it has been mentioned that Keegan Buchanan will be rejoining Kaizer Chiefs, but it looks like no.
That is such a bad move.
Well, right now, Usutu are expecting him to. So I think they will welcome him as a free agent. But not only are they welcoming him, we have the likes of Siyabonga Mbata, who will be joining Golden Arrows from Amazulu. You have Mpolisi Kune, who's set to join Amazulu as well from Maritzburg. So you've got those moves happening.
I love the transfer window. It always makes me excited for the new season. Can't wait. Opening game once again is Sundowns versus Chiefs. Can't wait. Hey.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
I hope you have fans, man.
Dude, what is the status on that?
I think right now, because the way the country hasn't disseminated enough vaccines, because I mean, only on 2 million, it's less than 10% of the population. So, and we're going through a third wave of infections. Although the death rate is lower, but the infections are about the same as that first wave. So obviously within the European market, we've seen during the Euros that there's fans galore in the stadium, but that's because they've got a strategy to give out vaccines, whereby with us, we've seen, I mean, in the news that our administrators have fumbled quite a few times with the vaccine. So it's very sad. But hopefully, I mean, I'm hearing news that the banking industry is going to roll out the vaccines. The teachers are going to be taking vaccines. So hopefully come maybe midway through the season or at the start of the season, maybe we might allow like 1,000 fans. And maybe, who knows, COVID might be good for South African football. Maybe people might want to go to the stadium after this.
Yes. Oh, That's so true. That is so true,
let's
man.
let's fly out to and go watch the Euros.
You have not been vaccinated. They won't let you in the stadiums,
Don't let
unfortunately.
you in.
Unfortunately. Oh man,
Just,
wild,
just
wild, wild.
quickly, on a Sundowns rumor, Sumahoro,
He's
are
leaving,
you
Chief.
guys keeping him?
No, he's leaving. Why would he stay? What has he
But
done?
he's still contracted to Sundowns.
Yeah, but rumor is he's going to another PSL team, so we giving him his clearance because he's a foreign player. He's carrying the foreign status and he's not playing. So what is the point of keeping him? And we just signed Safranco. I think Safranco is going to take the foreign status from him because we literally have no use for him at this point. I don't even think he played a single game last season, if I'm not mistaken. And I mean, you can even tell by his body language, the trophy, the award ceremony, the trophy when Sanders got the trophy, his body language was very dejected. You could tell he was just there because he's a player. You know what I mean? But he didn't really want to be there. You could tell by his body language. So yeah, I think it's just he just needs to leave. Tiani Mabunda as well. They've agreed to part ways with Sundowns, which is a great
Makes
thing for
sense.
me because I mean at the beginning of the season we're like, hey bro, let's send you out on loan. He said nope, I want to stay at the team. But he's not playing. He's not in the coach's plans. It doesn't make sense to stay when you're not in the coach's plans. I say let him leave. It's best he
Yeah,
leaves.
no.
It's best he leaves. It's best Mabunda leaves as well. Trompo as well. He needs to decide on what's happening with him. Retirement is not such a bad idea at this point because Rivaldo Cotti has made that position his. He's taken it over. And I'm certain De Rook is also going to move into that position at a later stage once we've signed another defender because we needed him there. But Musa Libusa and Nascimento at the back, De Rook and Thing in front of them or Rivaldo Cotti in front of them. I mean, that's just a perfect pairing. Trust me, it's a perfect pairing.
Yeah, no.
So
Just one.
five Pete next season. Five Pete by 20 points this time. But continue them up.
No, it's not happening. Let's. Hey, Marana, it's you see the annoying thing about Sundowns, nah, is that we know what a good outfit it is. And unfortunately, when it comes to Sundowns, Pirates and Chiefs, there's too many question marks about what's going on in those clubs for them to compete. And we can't expect Benny McCarthy next season with the CAF and the league and all these other competitions that we play. We don't expect him to do as well because we know, yes, he's a very good coach, but I mean, I think he can only go so far. But it's sad that Sundowns is a good team, and the bookies will have them as favorites to win the league. So sitting here, we can't just say, you're not gonna win. Hey, 5 feet is very serious. But anyway,
And I
saddens
mean,
me.
the one thing we didn't realize well about Sundowns is the fact that look, when Rolani left, they were like, yeah, Rolani was the brains behind Pizzo. You know what I mean? Rolani was the one making the machine run. The machine ran perfectly smoothly without him. You know, he ran perfectly without Rolani Mokwena. He left. Pizzo left. They said, yes, it's at the end of an era. I mean, we won the league cleanly. I literally think we only had we lost 5 games in all competitions last season. That is unheard of. We lost 1 game in the PSL. That is a new record. So it shows you that the team is actually getting better and better. And I think that we are attacking better now because if you look at our games against Chiefs and Pirates, we'd score 2 goals and then we defend. Now with Mangobe, it's like, yeah, I don't care, we're playing Pirates. Let's go score 4. You know, so it's a new era, but with the same mentality, same machine still as well oiled, if not better than under Peter. So next season, I'm expecting us to actually do even better. If Compella leaves or stays, it's still going to be the same team. Trust me.
Yeah, no, I don't think Campello will really change much if he leaves. As much as I think in terms of like man management, he understands footballers because he was a footballer and he understands what they go through. But and he can speak English, that guy. He can speak fluent. Actually, that's beyond fluent. But anyway, so I think it'll be
Sundowns players don't need a dictionary unlike Orlando Pirates, so it's going to be tricky.
Tell that to Andy Lejali.
Hey, you'd be surprised by his English now. Eh? You'd be very shook.
Yeah, I heard. No, I was listening to him. He can imitate Pizzo as well. It's he's grown, man. He's grown a lot.
Very much so. Very much so. Mark, anything you want to touch on?
I'm just saying that with the Euros, I told you guys, Italy, look out for Italy. They are a solid squad with those old men at the back. Solid squad.
I'm worried about Group F though. France, Germany, Portugal, Hungary. Okay, Hungary.
Hungary is
Okay.
going through.
I was gonna promise you a Chelsea jersey, but you already have one, so let me keep quiet. Who's not going through? France, Germany, Portugal, Hungary. Who's going through? Who's not going through? Mark, Mohau?
It's gonna be a tough one. I mean, you've got the big three guys. And I mean, Portugal as well have had a decent game. Last game, I would say France and Portugal.
Yes, I agree with Portugal, but I disagree with France. I don't
So
think
you're
Hungary.
saying that? Wait, Mohau. You're saying that Hungary is going to beat Germany?
The-
No. Germany lost to North Macedonia, so it's very possible. So that's why I'm asking. Are you saying that Germany is losing?
no, Germany might beat Hungary, but I don't see them.
Hi, man.
Okay.
Hi, man.
But remember, you have let me just check the group. But you have Portugal on 3 points, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
You have Germany on 3 points as well.
yes.
Mm.
You have who's this? Who's the other team again? France.
France.
France is on what? 4 points.
4 points.
Yeah.
Hungary's on 1.
Hungary is on 1. So technically speaking, depending on goal difference, all these teams can make it through.
Mm.
Oh, their goal difference is all 1-1-1. Hungary's
So-
-3.
But if Hungary sneaks in a win, who's this? Who's at the top? France. If France
Yeah.
somehow get walloped, Hungary goes through.
Yes, in essence.
So-
depending on goal
I
difference.
repeat again, Mahal. Are you saying Hungary is going through?
No.
Wow,
Nah,
it's
I
just
don't
like,
think
I don't
Hungary.
know.
No, I don't think Hungary will go through. Eh?
No, I honestly speaking, I think France is gonna go through. Even though I hate France, I'd love for France to not go through. I think Germany and then Portugal are gonna go through. France is gonna go through on the 3rd spot, in my opinion. But I think all 3 teams are gonna go through because of the 3rd spot thing. You know,
Mm.
The last team to win the Euros, I could be wrong, but I know I'm not wrong. They won after coming 3rd in their group.
it's possible. Hence, I'm saying all 3 of those teams, possibly they all go through. Man, hey, what's fun? What's fun?
So hey man, I think the only way is what I would love to see is Hungary beats Germany, right? And then
Portugal
who's
beats
the
Portugal
Portugal
and France.
beats wallops France. So France have got a negative goal difference of whatever. Who's going out? Wait. Oh snap!
Germany's
No, I wanted France to go out, but France cannot go out because they're on 4 points. Never mind.
Yeah.
They can't. Hence, I'm saying even
Yeah,
if France loses, if Portugal wins, Germany wins, all 3 are through. It's that simple,
Yeah.
you know. So Portugal have it all to do, and yeah, we'll see tomorrow. We'll definitely see tomorrow. Mahal, anything you want to touch on before we wrap up?
I'm glad England is winning right now, and I hope maybe they get to the semis at least. And I mean, I'm not surprised about Italy. I think I did say that Italy. I'll see them, and I wanted to say something about Belgium, but I wasn't too sure. But I'm excited to see Belgium as well.
Yes, Belgium in the final.
Winning those. So I hope my England. I don't know why I love England that much.
England is Kaiser
Your
Chiefs in the
person.
Euros. England is Kaiser Chiefs. Give me one not. We are just limping there, but we're gonna get there. You know what I mean? I think they're gonna get to the semis. Can you one not to the buyer?
I don't think they're getting past quarterfinals. I think they'll be lucky to get there.
Yeah, no,
Which
especially with
team?
teams like
England
Everton.
or
England.
yeah, I think Baji had quarterfinals. As
Yeah.
long as
Because
you
I'm
get to
not
see them,
that guy can't coach, guys. Because he has great talent on his side. But like I feel like he's not doing anything with it. Harry Kane is despondent, man. Harry Kane is angry about, first of all, Tottenham has not appointed a coach. Secondly, he wants to leave Tottenham and nobody has a bid for him. So I wouldn't play him.
Man City just placed the bid for 100 million euros.
I heard that. I saw that this morning, but
We'll see.
we'll see.
We'll definitely see. All right, gents. It's been a great episode, Mahal. Thank you
Yep.
very much, bro.
Thank you.
Mark, thank you very much, man.
Cabo Blue, Cabo Blue.
And as for me, myself, and I, TY, aka Abuti Broadway, I really can't wait to see the Royal Mpesani Premier League. I can't wait. If you want to send us your reactions, please drop us a WhatsApp on 064-900-947. That's 064-900-947. Don't forget to follow, like, subscribe, and also share with your people. It is the Banter Club SA on all platforms. And just like that, it's been another episode. We out. Peace.
Andy, let's sponsor us.
No, Chief, we can't. We're gonna be called the Kwamam Kiza Club next thing. No,
Royal Banter Club.
Ka black and gold.
Yeah, but we're gonna change from red and white to black and gold. Nah,
Standard.
we cannot have that. I just
Recording got the BM.
Chief flying out for recordings. That would be dope.
Join us every week on the Banter Club.